views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The PLP makes pledges, tougher action on illegal immigration, better health care, stronger economy, all discussed during their Blueprint event last night. Parliament dissolved as the writ of elections expected to be issued today. And an American man arrested in connection with that American woman who was missing at sea. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, April 9th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll get a preview of a big event this weekend, the premiere of a new movie, Honorable Member, just in time for the political season. And later in business, it is Financial Awareness Month. We are talking about what you need to know, the do's and don'ts when it comes to your money. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the Overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a glitzy choreographed event that stayed on script but saw no actual release of a physical plan yet. The PLP laying out its so-called path to continued progress, pledging tougher action on illegal immigration, policies to build a stronger economy, measures to tackle a housing crisis, and other promises designed to secure a second consecutive term in office. The event, held at the University of the Bahamas, featured Prime Minister Philip Davis and the party's candidates in coordinated outfits, outlining elements of the PLP's plan ahead of the May 12th general election. Minister of National Security Wayne Munro said another PLP administration will strengthen the protection of the country's borders with clearer rules, digital enforcement, and real consequences. He announced that the penalty will rise from $5,000 for a first offense to $10,000 for a second offense, and $15,000 plus 12 months imprisonment for violators of immigration policies. And he said migrants must carry health insurance or enroll in a new migrant health insurance scheme. Works and Family Island Affairs, Family Island Development Minister Clay Sweeting said the government would begin public consultation on a new city in Andros, laying the foundation for a major center of economic activity and long-term development. PLP candidate for Fort Charlotte, Sebas Bastian, pledged that the government would build a continuous pipeline of affordable homes across New Providence and the Family Islands by partnering with high-capacity developers to increase and accelerate construction efforts. And Housing and Urban Renewal Minister Keith Bell said the PLP government would demand better performance from state-owned enterprises. Labor and Public Service Minister Pia Glover-Rolls said the government would increase maternity leave from 12 to 14 weeks and provide 2 weeks of paid paternity leave and a legal right to adoption leave. While Energy Minister Jo Beth Colby-Davis once again pledged a modern, disciplined national energy strategy, and Health and Wellness Minister Michael Darville pledged to complete the Freeport Health Campus and deliver a new modern specialty hospital facility in New Providence. Parliament, as you may know, was dissolved yesterday morning when Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles, acting in her capacity as Provost Marshal, read the proclamation. The next session is set to begin on May 20th. The voters' register was closed at the end of the day yesterday. PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell, who spoke outside the House yesterday, said the writs of election will be issued today as he expressed confidence in the party's chances at a second term at government. Southern Shores MP Leroy Major announcing that he will break with the PLP, which denied him a nomination, and he's going to run as an independent candidate in the next general election. He thanked the people of Southern Shores for trusting him and giving him an opportunity to serve them for the last 4.5 years. He said, quote, "Unfortunately, things had a turn with the party, and I appreciate my PLP party, but this time around, I want to continue to serve my people." Major was first elected to Parliament in 2021. The PLP ratified O.B. Roberts as its candidate for Southern Shores. Major expressed confidence, though, that he will win the seat. Police have arrested a 59-year-old American man in connection with the disappearance of his wife, who went missing at sea over the weekend. Police say the man was arrested at 7 p.m. last night, declining to reveal the identity of the man. Yesterday, the husband of the American woman who reportedly fell off their dinghy in waters off Elbow Key said he desperately tried to rescue her in the moments after she went overboard. That woman's been identified as Lynette Hooker. The couple are from Onstead, Michigan, and have spent the last 4 years documenting their life at sea. Police say the search for Lynette Hooker was still ongoing. For policeman Delmar Taylor, acquitted of intentional libel after magistrate upheld a no-case submission. Taylor was accused of making defamatory statements about Derek Osborne, an actuary at TELUS Health, in an affidavit that he swore on July 17th that was used in divorce proceedings between Osborne and his wife Darnell. In accepting the no-case submission, Assistant Chief Magistrate Kara Turnquest DeVoe noted that the disputed affidavit was not before the court. She also pointed out that the affidavit was used in sealed divorce proceedings. As a result, the evidence in the affidavit was immune from prosecution. And an arrest warrant remains outstanding for the prosecution's key witness in the corruption case of former CID head Michael Johnson and 2 others. Senior Magistrate Anishka Isaacs issued a warrant for the arrest of Akil Holmes last month after he failed to show up for his assault trial. Holmes is accused of assaulting his estranged wife on January 1st, 2026, when she went to pick up their son. Holmes, a former ICS security employee, using inside information to steal $1.475 million that was the custody of the company before the money was flown to various branches of the Bank of the Bahamas. But prosecutors dropped charges of conspiracy to commit stealing and receiving $40,000 of stolen money against Holmes in exchange for his testimony against Johnson, defense lawyer Bjorn Ferguson, and Sergeant D'Angelo Roll. Johnson is accused of stealing $90,000 from Holmes, while Sergeant Roll is accused of abetment to stealing. Johnson and Ferguson face a charge of bribery and assisting another suspect in the theft, Michael Johnson Jr., in evading prosecution. Fox, the leader of the Fox Hill Outlaws gang, was murdered in 2024. Holmes has already started testifying against 4 officers in another case connected to the police investigation into the money heist. Corporal Chavez Sawyer, Constable Benson Miller, Sergeant Nelson Miller, and Sergeant D'Angelo Roll are accused of attempting to extort money from homes on November 3rd, 2023. He's expected to resume his testimony in that case in June. Overseas, a tentative ceasefire in the Iran war staggered today under the weight of Israel's intense bombardment of Beirut and Tehran's continued chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz and uncertainty over whether the negotiators can find common ground on the range of other differences. Hours after the ceasefire was announced, amid disagreement over whether it included a pause in fighting between Israel and Hezbollah, Israel pounded Beirut with airstrikes, resulting in the deadliest day in the country since the war began on February 28th. Iran and the U.S., which both declared victory in the wake of the ceasefire announcement, appeared to try to pressure each other. Semi-official news agencies in Iran suggested forces have mined the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial waterway for the world's oil. And U.S. President Donald Trump warning that U.S. forces would hit Iran even harder than it did before if it did not fulfill the agreement. But what is in that agreement remains in dispute. Beyond whether Lebanon is included, there are questions over what will happen to Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium, how and when normal traffic will resume through the strait, and what happens to Iran's ability to launch missile attacks in the future. Meanwhile, Israel strikes hit busy commercial and residential areas in central Beirut without warning Wednesday, hours after that ceasefire was announced in the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran. Lebanon said that at least 182 people were killed and hundreds were wounded, making it the deadliest day in the latest Israel-Hezbollah war.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, just one day after winning the swimming portion of the 2026 Carifta Aquatics Championships, the Bahamas competed in the open water swimming competition held in Martinique. Multisport athlete Malcolm Menzies won bronze in the boys 16 to 18 category. He completed the 5-kilometer swim in 1 hour, 5 minutes and 33 seconds for third place overall. Menzies has competed as part of the open water team 3 times, but his third try proved to be the charm in winning a medal. Menzies, who is a part of his last open water team due to age eligibility, credited experience for his third place triumph. More on how athletes did in that part of the competition in today's Guardian Sports section. And for Major League Baseball, Los Angeles Angels designated hitter Jorge Soler and Atlanta Braves pitcher Reynaldo Lopez, each receiving 7-game suspensions from Major League Baseball Wednesday, a day after they were ejected following their participation in a brawl. MLB's senior vice president for on-field operations, Michael Hill, also announcing that the players received undisclosed fines. The suspensions were scheduled to begin with Wednesday's game, but were put on hold pending appeals from each player. MLB and the Major League Baseball Players Association reaching an agreement to have Lopez's suspension reduced to 5 games, effective immediately. With an off day, Lopez will be able to keep his scheduled next start for Atlanta. Soler started in right field and batted 4th in Wednesday's finale of the 3-game series. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got a severe weather watch that's still in effect for portions of the Northwest and Northern Islands. So that's Grand Bahama, Abaco, and the Berry Islands, Northern Andros, New Providence, and Eleuthera. That area of low pressure that's been affecting us along the western flank of the islands, together with a weakening frontal boundary and associated troughing, will keep weather across the northern half of the country unsettled throughout most of the day today, with conditions beginning to improve tonight as the low gradually shifts to the east into the Atlantic. Meanwhile, troughing across the central and southeast Bahamas will also support some isolated showers and thunderstorms, though activity across those islands will remain less widespread than in the northern half of the country. And winds are expected to remain fresh to strong with near gale force gusts across the northern Bahamas and portions of the northwestern islands, while remaining light to gentle across the central and southeastern Bahamas. So for today, there is a marginal to moderate risk of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas and urban portions of the northern and northwest Bahamas due to the heavy and prolonged rainfall. Everyone's being advised to exercise caution, especially in areas already inundated with water from previous rainfall. And there's a high risk of rip currents for all Atlantic coastal waters and passages across the entire island chain. Swimmers are advised to stay out of the water and exercise caution when in Eleuthera near the Glass Window Bridge. So your forecast for today for the extreme northern islands, again, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, we're looking at cloudy to overcast conditions, becoming partly cloudy during overnight hours. Chance of rain today, a 50 to 70% chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through this evening, but gradually decreasing to about a 30 to 40% chance overnight. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, we're looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions, becoming overcast during parts of the day today. A 40 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers with isolated thunderstorms through late afternoon, decreasing to 20 to 30% chance by this evening. For the rest of the country, the central and southeastern Bahamas look for mainly fair conditions with a mix of sun and clouds. In terms of winds, for the extreme northern islands, winds northeast to east at 20 to 25 knots with gusts to near gale force through tonight. The rest of the northwest Bahamas looking at winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 50 knots this morning, becoming northeast to east at 50 late afternoon. And that's for North Andros, Berry Islands, and North Eleuthera. Other islands in the northwest Bahamas looking at variable winds at 10 knots or less, and northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts across all areas by this evening. The central and southeast Bahamas looking for winds easterly at 10 knots or less through the afternoon hours, becoming northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots by this evening. For the central islands, east to southeast at 10 knots or less, becoming variable at less than 10 knots by the evening hours. For the northern half of the country, look for high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, lows tonight in the upper 60s, low 70s. And for the rest of the country, highs around 82, 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 75, 76 Fahrenheit, 24, 25 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have more on your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Get ready to experience the biggest voting celebration to hit the Bahamas. Get out to vote. Live concert featuring Wendy, 242, Amy Trey, Johnny Cake, Sweet Emily, El Polly, The Pond Band. International artists to be announced with music by DJ Tank, Lil Giant, Selector Zoe, and DJ Rick. And the best part is free entry with your voter's card. All goes down Saturday, April 18th at the National Stadium. Gates open at 6 p.m. Log on to getoutovote.mysuncash.com for your free ticket.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
CFAL is a proud sponsor of Team Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology, there's now year-round container farming, you have hydroponics, you have aquaponics, you have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands. Because in BAMSI, we are not just cultivating produce, we're cultivating producers.
Paid for by PLP.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Marco's is so back. Don't think small, think big. The big XL deal at Marco's Pizza is just $16.50. One extra large, one topping pizza you'll love at a great price. Big nights need big pizza. Made with our founder's signature sauce, fresh cheese, and fresh dough. Taste the freshness in every slice. Big slices, big flavor, big value. Order now at MarcosPizzaBahamas.com. Go big tonight with Marco.
At Master Technicians, we have what your family traditions need, starting with industry-best refrigerators, ranges, and ovens.
We also carry Whirlpool washer and dryers, dishwashers and freezers, leading KitchenAid countertop appliances, blenders, microwaves, juicers, kettles, and KitchenAid stand mixers. We even do free delivery in New Providence or to the boat of your choice. Whether you're doing the laundry, creating new memories in the kitchen, or spending family time in front of the television, Master Technicians Limited, keeping family traditions alive for more than 50 years.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now day 27, 727. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining us now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to our listeners, especially those in Grand Bahama.
Great to have you with us. I understand it is a very special day for you and Mr. Gardner.
It is. It is. Today we celebrate 32 years,
Wow.
Dwight. 32 years of marriage.
My goodness.
So it's our anniversary.
Congratulations. I'm still amazed that you all got married at 12. I don't know how that, 'cause there's no way. There's no way. But anyway, great stuff. Again,
we got married very young.
Yeah.
We're still standing.
You and Leandre have to come on and tell us your secrets. Tell us your secrets one day. But anyway, congratulations again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We got a lot to talk about. A lot going on in the news, but also a new movie coming out this weekend.
Yes.
Honorable Member. We're going to get details about that. It's a perfect time for this, right? Dr. Ian Strong's going to be here.
It is perfect.
To talk about that this morning. And later in business, it is April. That means it's Financial Awareness Month. And the theme of our discussion today, money doesn't change until behavior changes. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. A good one this morning. You don't want to miss that. But right now, let's get right into it with all that's in the news. And in the news, the big event last night, the Blueprint. I've got to get the correct title of this event they had for the PLP launching basically their campaign pledges, what they plan to do over the next 5 years if they are returned to office. And it was the Blueprint for Progress platform, the launch of that last night. And we're going to get into that in quite a bit. Just really quickly, though, just want to this before, because I know we won't get time for this. But so as we know, Parliament was dissolved yesterday, and the writs for election will be issued today. The register closed as of last night. Don't know how late they went, but that was your last opportunity to register to vote in this election or transfer. We learned yesterday that the current Southern Shores MP, Leroy Major, who is a PLP, will be running as an independent. He did not secure the nomination for the upcoming general election, but he thinks he can win as an independent. So that is extremely interesting there. And this case been getting a lot of attention. The missing American woman. Now her husband has been arrested, and he's being questioned in connection with what happened to her. Police not saying who he is, but not revealing his identity, but it's very clear to see this is 59-year-old Brian Hooker. And we've been telling you this for the past couple of days, how they went missing. Lynette hooker went missing while they were on their dinghy off the coast of Elbow Key. According to her husband, and went overboard with the keys to the dinghy, and he had to paddle his way back to mainland Abaco. But the question, there's so many questions, so much mystery around this matter, which of course is getting a lot of attention in the American media as well. But we'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted on all of that. But on to what happened last night. The POP making pledges, promising tougher action on illegal immigration, better health care, stronger economy. A splashy event last night. The Nassau Guardian is calling it a glitzy, choreographed event that stayed on script. No physical plan yet, Laverne. We can't pick up the Blueprint 2.0. A lot of promises made last night. Laverne, did you get a chance to listen to any of it?
Can you hear me, Dwight?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I was asking you if it isn't online.
Not yet. But you can watch the whole
right.
thing. I think it's almost 2 hours. You can watch the whole thing. You can watch that event last night.
I watched some of it. I tuned into Dr. Darvo. I think I got most of him, and then all of Wayne Monroe, and then of course they closed out with the Prime Minister.
Right.
So yeah.
So the Prime Minister gave a political speech, but the others were telling you what may happen if they are returned to office. I want to play a few of these, and we can talk about it. These are the ones that really struck out to me. So let's begin with Clay Sweeting, who is the Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs. This is what, listen to this, pretty interesting stuff here, to what he says is going to happen if they are returned to office. Take a listen.
We will bring development to every family island with a clear plan, real investment, and work that people can see. We will develop a dedicated economic development plan for every family island because every island has its own strengths, its own needs, and its own future. A one-size-fits-all approach has held too many communities back for far too long. We will back that plan with a targeted investment incentives for businesses outside New Providence and Grand Bahama. So growth reaches deeper into our islands and more Bahamians can build and invest closer to their homes. We will also push stronger family island investment in tourism, in enterprise, and local business growth. We will position the family islands as world-class boutique destinations. We will support guest houses, ecotourism, niche tourism, and local business activity that puts real money into the hands of the people that live there. We will create more room for enterprise by supporting innovation and business hubs on major islands and by making sure development serves local communities first. We will begin public consultation on a new city in Andros. We will lay the basis for a major center of economic activity and long-term development. Andros has the size. Andros has the potential. And Andros is a place in our national life to carry a bigger role in the future of this country. We are prepared. We are prepared to start the work with seriousness. We will complete the Family Island Renaissance program for the 19 designated airports. That matters. Airports are gateways to jobs, to tourism, to investment, to medical access, and our daily lives. Better airports means better access. Better access means stronger islands. Stronger islands means a stronger Bahamas.
Okay, Clay Sweeting there. Again, he's also the Minister for Family Island Development. A new city on Andros. well, at least begin consultation on a new city. So what does that mean? But anyway, but a lot of people have been talking about this for decades, since I was a teenager, maybe even younger. People have been talking about a new city and moving the capital to Andros. So there's been an idea that's been floated for a long time. I've been critical of all governments of the Bahamas. There's not been a new city in this country since majority rule. It's been, right? That's crazy. We've had lots of gated communities, but no new city. We've never done one as an independent country, which is very bizarre. Laverne, what do you make of that? What will that mean? Well, what would a new city mean to a struggling city like Freeport?
But I don't know in context of how that impacts Freeport.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, unless we think in terms of new city development, more people leaving Grand Bahama and going there for job opportunities, that's always a possibility.
Well,
you know.
And New Providence too, Nassau. I mean, we probably want some people to leave here, but yes, what would that mean to a place like Freeport?
So if it would probably impact us in that way, and then of course less people on the island, less money going around. So you think of it in terms of that.
It could, but not necessarily, right?
It could, but it could. It didn't mean that, but that is also a possibility. I think we have to look at it in terms of what it would mean for Andros and those and the Bahamians who live in Andros. How do they feel about that? Is that something that they would like? What they would want? Is that something they would be on board for?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I heard some people calling into other shows yesterday talking about how bad things are and how there's no development, very little happening. But we know the potential is great. The potential is great there. Okay, so I'm continuing to text and we're getting some very interesting text messages. We'll get to those in a bit. Callers, we'll get to you in a bit, but I want to play just a couple more before we really get into the discussion. Pia Glover-Old, Minister of Labor, speaking yesterday as well last night, had some very interesting policy proposals. These are promises, I guess, promises of what they will do. Some of these we've heard before they were supposed to do in this term, but I guess they're going to get to it as soon as they get back in, if they are returned to office. But take a listen to Pia Glover-Old.
We will also bring the Employment Bill into law to replace a very outdated Employment Act that no longer reflects the reality of a modern working life. We will cap probation at 6 months in the private sector and 12 months in the public service. We will guarantee every worker a paid 1 hour break on shifts of 8 hours or more and get at least 8 hours of rest in between shifts. We will recognize mental health as a workplace right by providing free mental wellness days each year with no doctor's note required. We will increase maternity leave from 12 weeks to 14 weeks and expand more. For the first time, we will provide 2 weeks of paid paternity leave. And we will create a legal right to adoption. We will require employers to give nursing mothers reasonable breastfeeding breaks, and workplaces with 20 or more employees will be required to provide a suitable private space. And because a stronger economy must create room for Bahamians to rise into the best jobs, We will launch a Bahamian professional development program focused on filling high-paying roles with Bahamian talent. We will develop a national workforce demand index so we can identify where the economy is growing and where the jobs are. And we will work directly with major employers and investors to identify skills gaps in real time so training is tied to actual opportunity. We will introduce a high-value jobs track for sectors where Bahamians remain underrepresented at the professional levels. We will require all major investment projects receiving concessions to submit a Bahamian employment and professional development plan with clear targets for hiring, promotion, and skills transfer.
Okay, all right. Pia Glover-Roll there. Very interesting things. Anything standing out to you, Laverne? Capping probation. We know some people are on endless probation in these workplaces and in the government. You're acting for years, it seems, in the capacity, but putting a cap on it in law, that's very interesting.
Sounds good. You know, but overall, Dwight, and I know you're going individual by individual, but
just
overall,
it
sounds good. You know,
that last part there,
hitting all the right notes.
Yeah,
hitting all the right notes for things that people have said, brought up, recommended.
But the last part there, though, I mean, isn't that supposed to be? Like, all these companies are supposed to be developing Bahamians. Isn't that? That wasn't that old?
Yeah, like that. That was supposed to. That should have been a given, because that's what you're supposed to be doing, right?
I even believe that's the law.
Isn't that part of it? Isn't that part of it when you bring in someone that they have to train a suitable Bahamian to replace them in X amount of time?
So what are we saying? There are loopholes? There are people...
Absolutely. Dwight, we all know that there are loopholes. We all know that there are people who have come to this country and have been here for years in positions where Bahamians, qualified Bahamians, should have been trained to take over and have not done so for whatever reason,
and then,
or I should say for whatever excuse.
Well, often the position and required that you speak 7 languages, including Russian.
Absolutely.
And native Cherokee languages and all kinds of strange things, But maybe there'll be they'll I don't know how they're going to address it, but this is what we thought was supposed to be happening. But okay. And finally, Wayne Monroe, the Minister of National Security. Every time he's here, he talks about this, expanding CCTV. He said the last time he was
about
here,
it last night.
That they would need another term to implement some of the things.
He had a backlog justice court. Yeah.
Quite a few interesting things. Take a listen to this from Wayne Monroe.
We will expand community policing and declare whole build strategy that is working. We'll expand CCTV and the use of technology. And we will introduce non-lethal policing options so officers have better tools to protect the public and respond with good judgment. We will also move justice faster. And to do so, we will launch a backlog reduction court to clear outstanding cases. We will establish a dedicated sexual offenses court. And we will complete the new correctional facility and virtual court complex already started, so that justice is stronger from arrest to trial to rehabilitation. We will also strengthen the protection of our borders with clear rules, digital enforcement, and real consequences. We will procure a national biometric immigration system and deploy biometric e-gates that flag prior deportees and multiple identity fraud with overstay alerts triggered within 48 hours. We will implement daily overstay fines from day one. We will strengthen employer compliance because for every undocumented worker you have, you will pay. The penalties will rise from $5,000 for your first offense to $10,000 for your second offense, and then up to $15,000 plus 12 months in prison for your third offense. Employers who intentionally and repeatedly break our immigration laws will also face a ban that will preclude them from reapplying for work permits for up to a period. We will establish a prohibited employer register, and violators can be barred from obtaining work permits for up to 5 years. We will also launch a Bahamian E-Verify portal, create an immigration fraud intelligence unit, and move immigration service fully into the digital age with stronger identification verification and fraud detection. Now let me be clear, equally clear, on fraud by public officers. If you facilitate passport fraud or document fraud, you will face mandatory penalties of up to 10 years in prison.
Okay, Wayne Monroe there. Very interesting comments. Did you notice that with each revelation of what they plan to do to the employers, the applause is a little less enthusiastic? Or is it just me? Am I hearing things? We just talked about this yesterday on the show with an F&M candidate about how, right, employers, we've created an environment in which migrants, especially undocumented migrants, feel like they can thrive, which seems to be happening. Almost everybody who's here is working, unlike many Bahamians. These folks can find work, and in Bahamian-owned companies. Most of them, right? So, but something has to be done. Something has to be done. One thing that I'm curious about and puzzled about, the community policing and justice, community justice. My mind is coming up with a lot of weird things that could mean.
It was, hang on, because I had a question mark about that as well. Move justice strong, strengthen the borders.
Because I just picture
it was something local community justice
that
centers.
Doesn't sound good. Where you go in there and the elders in the neighborhood would like administer the punishment the way they see fit. Like you just go in there and everybody flogs you or something. I don't know. This doesn't sound right, but we need more details. Local community justice sounds very scary. Go down to that house on the corner and they can deal with you. Okay. But, you know, the details, hopefully in the printed document, we'll see. We'll see what that means. Let's get your reaction with folks. Already the text line, clearly, you know, they have like, you know, hotlines for when you need to talk to somebody about stress and all that stuff. This is the toxicity text line, or skepticism central. I mean, the people just, wow. I mean, they don't This is a lot. But let's take the calls first, and then we'll get to this very negative text line. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. What say you?
Good morning, Dwight, and congratulations, Laverne.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Dwight. Let me just phrase: our children haven't been denied the embrace of our village has caused many to left for warmer jurisdictions, and those who have remained too often have been trying to burn it down just to feel its warmth. But Dwight, I'll tell you, beware of any proclaimed global climate leader who cuts down a tree to have a stump to stand on when talking about conservation and the cult that cheers for him. And that's when you talk about Andres. Because Andres is already in page 46 of the Blueprint for Change. And in fact, Dwight, with the exception of the paternity leave, nothing they said is new.
What did they say? Refresh your memory. What did they say about Andres?
They
5
said
years
they
ago.
will have a comprehensive strategic plan for it.
Okay.
Infrastructure development.
Well, now
They'll establish a more comprehensive local government.
Right.
All of the good stuff. And I want you to imagine this. Laverne, I want you more specifically. You and your husband are celebrating your anniversary, and you're at a restaurant, and you ask for conch chowder. And the conch chowder is not to your liking. So you pour the container of salt in the conch chowder, stir it up, and tell the waiter to take it back. And he brings it back to you in a new bowl, and you taste the salt.
why would Laverne and her husband do that?
No, because what happens is the conch chowder is not the way you ask for it to be prepared. But just to make sure they bring in you something new, you clearly want to be able to identify the previous conch chowder. And so essentially, when Laverne tastes this conch chowder again...
This is how you'll roll?
Because it's the salt. She can taste the salt. And this is what this is. So if you go on their technology,
Well,
right,
that's kinda
you can
smart.
find on 25, page 25, 50, 20, 22, 24. Housing, Blueprint for Change, page 26, 32, and 34. Energy, page 32. Health, 42, 44, 46. I could give you
Well, they
everything.
all say, right, they need more time. Didn't the previous
No, right,
prime
but
minister
see-
say, next time for you? Next time for you.
More time.
No, but see, when you dress this up even as a prettier thing with this lipstick on the pig, it then begs the question that then why are you presenting this as progress when you haven't finished what you have done? See, progress should be measured and felt, not marketed. Okay? And so, and the problem is, it says, there's a concept, right? It says if you're not prepared to be and say you are wrong, you will never build anything new or original. And so they have to come and say.
But are the ideas bad, though? I mean, yes, they see, we all have
Dwight-
challenges with how these
But
matters
Dwight-
are addressed when they get in office and the length of time.
But Dwight, one of the things they said, the beautiful word they said, we're going to present framework, this, everything. But guess what, Dwight? We've spent $250 million on consultants over the last 5 years. We spent another $25 million a year on bringing back retired individuals. And we don't have a single written policy, a single framework. See, the PLP tracker. That PLP tracker has been sitting there since February of 2024.
Okay, see, I've got a lot of calls coming. Thank you for calling in, though. Appreciate it. Just before we take those calls, so the Prime Minister said it, too. Out of 387 total commitments that they made in the last blueprint,
they did.
They've delivered on
325.
Or they're in progress.
Completed or in progress. Yes, completed or in progress.
We were going through that last year, Laverne. I don't remember if it was that many. But okay, but that was last year. So maybe some things have moved
Yes,
into,
between the last time we talked
Right.
about it now.
into in progress.
Right.
And that could always
Some
mean,
things.
you had a meeting. But hey, at least it's more than half. Right. Let's take another call.
No, go ahead. Take the other call.
Okay, let's take the other call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, Lauren.
Good morning.
Whoever that director is, who directed the movie last night, that looked like a Disney movie. I really saw those shapes like they came right from Mike Taylor direct.
It was well produced.
I nominated the director, first of all, for Oscar. But Dwight, I listened to some of the things that they said was going to do, I need someone to find out that Wayne Monroe paid the reserve police who worked the shelter during the Dorian, the hurricane Dorian, who was at the 7 days on who was at the plan on Ponciana, the former Ponciana plan. Find if they got paid, Chester Cooper.
They weren't paid since Dorian in 2019? That's what you're trying to say?
Sorry?
You're trying to say they weren't...
Employees were still being treated bad, being talked to, being discriminated. Under the Deputy Prime Minister, Chester Cooper. Okay? So he needs to go back and then probably review that, make sure that payments are not being discriminated against. I had called you a couple of years ago about the Canadian who came in here with hoping to get a job as a restaurant server and end up being the restaurant manager. A young one, a job that maybe 3 dozen or more payments could do. They
needs to
Chef,
do.
I don't know if you're in a
Because
hurricane, but something's going on with your
can't
phone.
answer.
Sorry, Chef. I don't know what's happening. That was really it sounds terrible. You got to call us back maybe when you're inside or not in that tornado there. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
I wanted to say this. I was very impressed with the presentation last evening. Let me tell you why. And I think if a lot of us want to be very, very transparent, and we always ask for transparency, when you, the question you should be asking your guests, how many of them actually have had the opportunity to go on to the online site and see what has or has not been done? The same Mr. C. Allen, who always calls in here, and I truly believe if anything is done, he will always find an objection in it. And what I find very interesting in them is, ask how many, including yourselves, how many of you have actually taken the opportunity to go online and judge for yourself and see whether or not any of the things that we are currently, or your guest, or anyone thereof, will have a explanation for, a question for, and see whether or not judging themselves. Let them judge themselves. I think that in itself.
You're talking about the previous blueprint?
No. I'm talking about the new platform that illustrates what has been done that you either can physically or realistically see happen, or that is in progress. We obviously know, and everybody will not disagree with this, 5 years is not a sufficient time. If you think about your own personal lives and how quickly 5 years have come and gone, and you start things that you wanted to do 5 years ago to finish all of it, how do you think that you can run a government when there is a revolving door syndrome every 5 years? And we start from the beginning. We start over. We go to the next one. We start over. Look, I challenge C. Allen. I challenge anyone else to go online and see the platform for themselves and stop with the rhetoric and see. This is the only party that I've seen that has put together a literal platform that you can go personally, whether you're FNM, COI, PLP, and take a look for yourself.
Okay, I hear you. We got to go to the news. I wish I could respond to you as effectively as I need to. I may have to say this for after the news, but I think there are some flaws in the argument you're presenting. We're going to explain when we get back, but this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're back after the news.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:23, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got a lot going on. We've got a severe weather watch in effect for the northern Bahamas. That's been in effect for a while, but we also have portions of the northwest Bahamas under the severe weather watch as well. So this includes all the islands, including this Grand Bahama, Abaco, but also the Berry Islands, Northern Andros, and New Providence and Eleuthera. Everyone's being advised to pay attention to these warnings. We've got an area of low pressure along the western flank of the islands, and together with a weakening frontal boundary and associated troughing, all of this is keeping weather across the northern settled throughout most of the day today, with conditions gradually beginning to improve by tonight as the system shifts towards the east into the Atlantic. And then we've got troughing across the central and southeast Bahamas. That will continue to support some isolated showers and thunderstorms, though activity across that part of the country will not be anything like what we're seeing over the northern half of the country. Winds are expected to remain fresh to strong with near gale force gusts across the northern Bahamas and portions of the northwest Bahamas, while remaining light to gentle across the central and southeastern islands. So by Friday, that frontal boundary is going to weaken as it moves into the central Bahamas, and that's going to lead to an uptick in showers across that part of the country, eventually reaching the southeast Bahamas by Saturday. And then following that passage, high pressure will build behind it, leading to more stable conditions and fresh to strong breezes with near gale gusts across most of the country through the weekend and into early next week. So a lot of things happening over the next few days. Today, there is a marginal to moderate risk of flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas and urban areas across the northern and northwest parts of the Bahamas. We're seeing that already after the prolonged rainfall events. And there's a high risk of rip currents along all Atlantic coastal waters and passages across the entire country. And swimmers are advised to stay out of these waters, especially if you're in Eleuthera near the Glass Window Bridge. So for today, the extreme northern islands looking at cloudy to overcast conditions, becoming partly cloudy during the overnight hours tonight. You've got a 50 to 70% chance of showers with isolated thunderstorms through to this evening, but that should drop off to about 30 to 40% chance by tonight. For the rest of us in the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly cloudy to cloudy today, periods, a 40 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through to late afternoon, decreasing to about 20 to 30% chance by this evening. The central and southeast Bahamas looking at mainly fair conditions with a mix of sun and clouds expected. Temperatures today in the northern half of the country, we will struggle to get to 80 with all the rain and cloud cover. And overnight lows tonight in the upper 60s, low 70s. For the rest of the country, though, highs around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 74, 75 Fahrenheit, 24, 25 Celsius. More on your extended outlook Friday. Tomorrow, partly sunny to sunny during the day, to becoming fair at night for the extreme northern islands. The rest of the northwest Bahamas looking at a mix of sun and clouds during the morning hours, becoming partly sunny by afternoon and mainly fair at night. But the central and southeast Bahamas looking at higher rain chances and a mix of sun and clouds during the day, variably cloudy at night. By Saturday, most of the country will be seeing partly sunny conditions, turning mostly fair at night, but the extreme southeastern islands looking at variably cloudy conditions with gradual clearing by the evening, mostly fair at night. And Sunday, mostly sunny, turning mostly fair at night, back to warm, very warm conditions. And that will hold into Monday. But for the weekend and into the start of next week, as we said, the wind gusts are going to be near gale force, so that could bring some hazardous boating conditions. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Looking to paint? Your local Sherwin-Williams store has top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. And 8:28, time for traffic, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Your hot spots right now, we've got Miles Butler Highway as usual. Heavy traffic for you. If you're north of Fire Trail, you'll see that as you approach Harold Pond in the northbound lanes. Very slow moving all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. And southbound on your Providence Highway towards that same roundabout, seeing some slow moving traffic as well. And busy for you westbound on Tonic Williams Darling Highway side towards that roundabout. Then you've got just north of Carmichael, some slow moving traffic. But once you get north of Soldier Road, you'll see that usual heavy traffic as you try to get over that hill and down to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Once you get north of that area, you'll run into some slow-moving traffic again on the way to Cordo Avenue near Big Pond. And north of that intersection there, some slow-moving traffic on the way to Wolf Road. Over on East Street, similar story, slow-moving traffic north of the Soldier Road intersection and Independence Drive. Backed up westbound. There's a lot of flooding there as you get to the roundabout with Blue Hill, so that is definitely slowing things down. And Robinson Road, heavy traffic for you once you get west of the intersection with Soldier Road or Prince Charles. You'll see that on your way to Old Trail and straight through to Marathon East-West Highway. Those are your hot spots right now. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you prefer a face-to-face chat or handling things online, we've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. It's Laverne's anniversary. You're married 32 years, right, Laverne?
Yes, sir. 32 years.
But guess what? Guess what tomorrow is?
What's tomorrow?
Guardian Radio's anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 14 years.
14 years,
which means it's Morning Blend's anniversary, too. 14 years, Laverne.
Amazing.
14 years we've been here since 2012.
Wow.
And we premiered just a few weeks before a general election. And when I tell you what we're talking about today feels like yesterday, feels like 14 years ago. Oh,
feels
man.
Like 14 years ago,
Trust me.
Feels like 5 years ago.
Feels like
10. Yeah.
Boy, so I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, it's great to make it this, and thank you all of you to make it to this point. Thank you all to our listeners, our sponsors, everybody, all the many guests we've had over the years. But it is a great thing to be celebrating. We'll do a little more of that tomorrow on the show. Okay, so really quickly, because we've got a lot of guests coming up, we're going to be talking about the new honorable member. Just in time for this season. And later, I don't know what's happening there. That's audio that we're hearing. What is that? Okay, is that you, Laverne?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, we've been hacked. And then later in business, honorable...
That's so casual. Oh, okay, we've been hacked.
Yeah, that's just how it is. 2026. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what that is. And then later in business, we're talking about Financial Awareness Month. Money doesn't change until behavior changes. Right. All right. So before the break, that caller got in and he challenged everybody to go and check out the things that the government has said that it's accomplished. But I think he's comparing some things that it's not apples to apples, you know. So again, we mentioned it. According to the PLP, out of the 387 total commitments, they are at 325 or in progress. It would be good to know what number is delivered and what number is in progress, because we have some theories that it's more in progress than delivered. But the other things, what's the math, Laverne? The 387 minus 325. That number there, that difference is
Right.
what has a lot of us concerned, right? There are a lot of things that were promised
62.
that have not been delivered. In fact, some that were promised, they've totally changed their mind on it now. It seems like we're not really. No, we said we were going to do local government in New Providence, but
That's not a priority.
That's not a priority. Freedom of information. I didn't hear it. Maybe they did talk about it, but elevating this to the position where we can actually use this. Didn't hear that mentioned, and we've been told many times that is not a priority. So it's one thing to say these things, but based on promises from before, and this is a problem with all parties in this country, and definitely the PLP and the FNM, when you do have an opportunity to get it promised, many of the things that drew people to you are on the back burner, not even on the stove. And we're told that you're going to deal with it later, another time, or that's not even a priority anymore. We're not going to do it. But we lured you in with those carrots. And that is the challenge. So already, as you said, the text line filled with skeptics who are like, they've said this before. We hear this all the time. Are they really going to deliver? This all sounds great, but are they really serious about it? We have to get to the text messages, but we've got a couple callers. Let's get through this very quickly. We're running out of time. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, Dwight, man, look here. You must just read in my mind, right? When you said what you said about the Guardian, right? Because I could brag that I was one of the first ones on Guardian when you opened, right? I could boast about that, and just like you said, right? It seems like we're still in 2012 because we was arguing over and trying to get solved in this country for the last 14 years. We are no closer of reaching those places, Dwight. We are no closer.
Some things.
I mean, for instance, give me an example. What are the things that we are close to, Dwight?
Some things we've solved for the most part. We used to talk about the dump every week. We don't talk about the dump anymore because
but it's still burning, Dwight. Just no, right? Just on past it on that road the other day on Gladstone Road, and we could have smelled the dump again, right? Again, I sure somebody could under the start of my voice could confirm that, but that's what was happening several days ago, Dwight. Gladstone Road was pink, like how it normally used to be. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to wait to see if that was a mistake or was an oops, because they was doing a good job with that dump. I can tell you no lie. That dump we couldn't smell the dump for Carpet Road.
Unresolved.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Right. But see, when it comes to this government again, too, right? What are the things they are proposing? This is a question to them. What are the things they are proposing to us now that they couldn't have done whilst they had the power to do it? It seems that these people believe that they could just continue to dangle carrots in the front of us every time they reach to the end of the bridge, right? Because they need to get over. And so here's the carrot for me to get over. And once they get over that side, saga continues, man.
Okay.
We have to change this paradigm because, we don't need people who are in power to come now telling us what they could have done. And when they first got the power, they went on vacation. They went traveling. They didn't have no time to do the work. And now they're suggesting that we give them more time to go back on vacation when they get... no, man. We need workers. We need people who have this country seriously at heart, because this real life, this lives we talking about. So we need to have the Commonwealth of the Bahamas at interest. And then I hear them talking about all of that, and I never hear them saying not anything about stopping the flights from coming in from Haiti. But all of a sudden, they and I hope the Haitians, them are listening, because at the end of the day, we told you guys that this government is just only want to use you for election, right? So all the things
you're going way off the rails. I don't even know what you're saying, but okay. What is that? Laverne? Anyway, but what does that have to do with? Okay, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, my brother.
Hi. Good morning. Oh, okay. Don't know what happened there. We lost him. Let's take that one really quickly. Caller. Good morning. You're on the air. Oh, hi. Are you there?
Hey, Dwight. Good morning.
There you are. Okay.
Morning.
Yeah. For some reason, the lines just went blank. Before I start, let me say congratulations to Laverne and her husband on their milestone, another anniversary. Congratulations. Hope, peace, prosperity, and more blessings to come for years to come.
Thank you.
Dwight, I just want to make a comment on one of the previous callers prior to your news break, where he had called in and made the inference that this current administration requires more time to get the rest of the work done. Well, here's my contribution to all of this, because the shenanigans, as far as I'm concerned, it has to stop. We have to recognize that in our parliament, the PLP, those members of parliament that represents the Progressive Liberal Party, and those members that represent the Free National Movement in parliament, is the Bahamas government. There seems to be this separation where information is not in its totality, is flowing from the governing party of the government to the opposition party of the government, and is causing a problem in our parliament. The Bahamian people are not getting the complete full bang for the money that we put them in there and for what they're spending as far as the Bahamian people are concerned. If government is continuous, regardless of which governing party, then why isn't the governing party sharing all of the information? Why is the governing party not answering all of the questions that the opposition party has put to them prior to the proroguing of this House and the dissolution? Why are these games going on? You see, Bahamians are concerned that we are not getting the full bang for the buck that these guys were put in Parliament to represent us to do. So if we're going to get serious in closing, we want people in our Parliament, first and foremost, who are sensitive to the Bahamians people's voices, to our needs and our wants. Then secondly, we want people in our Parliament who will protect the sanctity and the sovereignty of this country against all outsiders and all others.
Okay.
That today is not happening, Dwight. It has many of us concerned, and whoever comes into power in this next election, trust me, the pressure is going to be so great on them, they're going to have to perform or get out.
Okay.
Thanks for taking my call, Dwight, and congratulations once again, Laverne.
Okay.
So, Dwight, I was able, thank you, C. Allen, to find the platform that the caller before we went to the news break was talking about. So it is actually blueprint-tracker.gov.bs.
Okay. But I mean, remember we went through this.
It has the 387 things and what stage they're in.
That's very helpful. We'll post it as well. But of course, we went through this exercise at the anniversary of the election last year, and there was still a lot to be done, right? Which is what,
according to them, it's only 62 left out of the 387 things.
The biggest 62, the biggest of them all.
But here's the thing that I wanted to say earlier. We go through this all of the time, right? All the time that there's election, you put in your resume to say why you should be reelected. And whether these are things that were said before and now you're getting to them, or there's some new things. Here's the reality. People, whatever you're doing, people want to be able to see, feel, and touch that. That's important to people. They want to know how it's going to impact their lives. How is it impacting their lives on a daily basis? Is it improving? Is it not improving? Any government that comes in have 5 years to do the most. That's all you have guaranteed. 5 years. So now at this point, it is up to the Bahamian people to determine if the 5 years that you had already made a significant improvement or it took away from their life. That's all. So you can make all of the promises, but really it's going to be based on what has happened and how did that impact me.
Yeah.
You know, the talk is good, but, you know, it's just talk.
Yeah, whether it's tangible, how they feel it, if they can feel it,
Yes.
if their life is different from 5 years ago.
Exactly. That
so-
is at the heart of it.
Yeah. All right, let's read
Is
these.
my life any better?
Yeah. Let's read these messages quickly. We only have a couple minutes left in this segment. This person says here, you all had time to listen to that nonsense last night. They couldn't fulfill their last manifesto in blueprint for pain. What? And they want us to believe that farce last night. Oh, boy. Okay. This person says here, again, lots of negativity here. I was disappointed to hear the tapes that you played, the clips that you played, because the PLP can't execute any of those things they've promised. Contracts, consultants, and travel can't accomplish those goals. Yikes. I will simply say this. Everything that the PLP said are just promises, all talk and no action every election cycle. As annoying as C. Allen is, I'm rooting for him, for the FNM to win so that we won't hear him. Hopefully he fades away like Anton. Oh, that's not... what? The fire station that was constructed in North Andros, it was to be started last year. What about BEC? That was to be started in North Andros from last year as well. Well, they did talk about expanding what they've been doing
Come
with
in.
BPL,
The next 5 years.
I would have
That's why
liked...
they need more time.
Yeah, I would have liked to have heard that, quote, we will no longer have no big contracts and allow every Bahamian the opportunity to make some money and not just our families, friends, and lovers.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with the current government. They are saying what they intend to do, but as the incumbent, you should be touting and running on your record of what you've done. They did quite a bit of that last night. They did talk about that, talk about BPL.
And if you aren't sure, they've given you homework. Go to their blueprint tracker that has all 387 things listed.
Yes. This one says, my promise is that they overdeliver and they overpromise and underdeliver. We need folks like Zoran Mamdani in New York with his 3 simple, measurable policy goals. The road to hell is paved with lots of good intentions. Okay. This person says, my intelligence is feeling so insulted right now. Were these people not ministers? Why didn't they do what they are telling us they will do? I mean, you know, sometimes it is challenging. You can't, the labor minister can say a lot of things, but you've got to get the entire business community on board. And there are challenges. They are not going to be happy about expanding paternity leave. They are not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy about expanding maternity leave. And adoption leave, most work for would tell you to you go with your baby somewhere else. I guarantee you. So it's not just up to them all the time. It's the mindset of the people as well. And other things take a lot of money. This person says here, more comforts to fools, more of that, more flowery speeches and promises with little progress coming from the PLPs. Bahamians are waking up and will not be swung. Okay. All I hear is we will do what did you do? Again, Laverne, remind folks about where but people aren't being fair, I suspect. It might not have been all the things they promised to do, but certainly some things were done. Some things. By the way, the PLP government has a problem with the FNM giving single mothers $200 a month, but they are going to pay women extra money for maternity leave. Are you upset about the maternity leave thing? You have a problem with both things. Okay, you have a problem with everything.
I don't
know what
think
the
they
text-
have a problem with both things.
Oh, they're
I
just-
think they're just, making a comparison.
Pointing out hypocrisy. Oh, okay. This person says, I challenged that caller with the one before the break to tell his PLP to stop telling untruths and keep their promises. That's what? Stop. What? Okay. This is a lot for early in the morning. I don't know. I can't read the rest of that. That's not very colorful. Very, very, very colorful. Tell your previous call that I have a hard copy of the Blueprint for Change, and 70% of it is not completed. I don't need a PLP platform to tell me they have failed to deliver their promises from their first term in office. The Davis PLP are now promising the Bahamas will become... okay. Anyway, a country governed by the most unqualified, unscrupulous, or incompetent of its citizens. They're calling it anyway, that's funny. Okay. The caller who was on prior to the news suggesting that people can go online to view what has been done by the government and what is left to be done. Further, he suggested 5 years was a short time. Well, as a retiree who has given excellent service to my country, I'm not feeling what this government has done in 5 years. And the caller made a weird point about think about what you've done in your 5 years. And so how could you judge the government by that? Well, we don't have hundreds of thousands of people working for us and all the money to do all the things that we wanted to do. So I don't think that also is not something you could point to. What have you done in 5 years? Huh?
But it's just like this text said. The text said just now, feel. Yeah. If you're doing, if you say that you're working for me, Dwight, doing things for me, but I can't. It isn't impacting my life in a meaningful way or a way that I could really quantify. Mm-hmm. We have a problem.
And trust me,
and that's the gist.
If the cost of living hadn't gone up so much in the last 5 years, I could have accomplished a whole lot more than I did.
Okay,
but that's another story.
Yeah, and maybe if you didn't give out so many no bid contracts for your life, just saying. And all those consultants you have in your life, Dwight.
Boy, you don't know how accurate that is.
You got to tighten the purse strings, man.
Too many no bid contracts.
Too many.
You're gonna have to properly vet. Anyway, this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll be back. Stay with us.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
The following is a paid political message.
Find it here. You're looking for truth. Find it here. Vote for MacGyver. Hey! She's here for you. See everybody in Kalani. Change is here. Hey! Hands in the air. Hey, see everybody in Kalani. Vote for MacGyver. a fighter.
That was a paid political message.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
New roads and airports are connecting our islands. Energy reform is bringing electricity prices down, while young Bahamians are stepping up, gaining new skills for new opportunities. Respect for workers. Support for entrepreneurs. We're modernizing energy and infrastructure across our islands and preparing Bahamians to succeed in a new economy. Transformations this big take time. Let's choose progress. Paid for by the PLP.
Product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we can sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Looking to upgrade your car? At Nassau Motor Company, a brand new Honda is waiting for you. Discover the highly acclaimed Honda CR-V, combining style and performance. Need space and flexibility? The Honda BR-V is just perfect for you. Or go with the sporty and sexy Honda HR-V. Come, check out our Honda showroom and let your dreams go with you. All the new Hondas are backed with a 3-year, 60,000-mile factory warranty. Available at Nassau Motor Company on Shirley Street, where standards are higher.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
The nominations are in, and all eyes are on the Bahamas. The World Travel Bahamas in 13 categories, from leading destination of 2026 to beach, cruise, diving, culinary, and more. Let's show the world what our islands have to offer and help our country claim the top spot. Cast your vote now at bahamas.com/WTA. This message was brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism.
They turn up my water, turn up my light, cause little bit of rain did come down last night. So I dial a certain number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The phone just keep on ringing, man, them people full of jive. Now I one of them people who like to complain, but when I went down to the office, they try and make me shame. They had workers on the road, 8 men round a 1 man working, the rest are fool. Where you going, baby? Down the road. Who you waiting for? What you just do? Sit around. What you waiting for? Baby. Who gave you that job? What time you wake start? What time you get off? Anytime. What time is it now? Let's go! Woo! Yes, man! Go to work! Get to work! Oh, shucks! Woo! Well, you know what to do. I drive in my Volkswagen.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And changing gears a little bit, because it's still in the realm of politics. Opening to the public in just a few days. Honorable Member is the name. And we've got the writer, producer, director too, and a couple of the cast members with us. We've got Dr. Ian Strachan along with Nicolette Fountain and Jean Joseph. Good to see all of you again. Good morning. Let's get all the mics up there. There we go. So, I mean, this is quite closely related to what we were talking about before the break. And I've seen it, honorable member. And so is it required viewers for all politicians, or is it a biography of all politicians? Which one is it?
It's just a story. It's just a fun story about Caribbean politics.
Mm-hmm. This isn't somebody's personal tale?
No, any similarity between the characters on the screen and real people is entirely coincidental.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. All right, so let people know what this is all about.
Well, I've been following politics most of my adult life and writing about it, and so I wrote a play in 2017 called Honorable Member, and then the idea came to turn it into a TV series, and the TV series became, in the first instance now, a movie version. And it deals with the 10 rules of politics. And this is the season.
Yeah.
And so, but whether you're a PLP, an FNM, a COI, an independent, there's something in this film that you will find interesting and engaging and entertaining. And we have a great cast, over 30 Bahamian actors. Project took 2 years. Wow. And really what motivated me, again, wanting to be in conversation about our country and countries like ours and how do we get better, but also trying to give an honest assessment of how we got here, the choices that we make and refuse to make that have us where we are. And all of these English-speaking Caribbean countries are almost all in the same sort of space. Yeah. And then also to just of TV, knowing how much joy it can bring, wanting to make sure our faces, our images, our stories, our people can see themselves on the big screen. So that's really what it's always all about.
Yeah. So you said it took about
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. 2 years.
Wow.
A lot of scenes, a lot of actors, a lot of coordinating of schedules. That being the main thing, the logistics of it all. I was with my partners, Don Sargent, Dion Johnson, who's the lead actor.
Don Sargent.
Yes, that's right. Dion Johnson, who's the lead actor, and also Aaron Knowles. So the four of us collaborated to pull this thing together, and all these great actors have been a part of it. And then Saturday night, we get to share it with the nation, and we can't wait.
Excellent. All right, so just without giving away too much, the general synopsis of what's
so
happening.
Dion Johnson plays a prime minister named Ferguson, Winston Ferguson, nicknamed Fergie, and he is seeking a third consecutive term in office. He's getting on in age. He's got a deputy who really wants to
You
be...
said this is not a true story.
He's getting on in age.
It sounds so
Right?
Just certain...
That's the few words that I've heard, Dr. Strachan.
But that's worldwide. That's worldwide.
That's just how it is.
But if you think about it, take a scan of the world, and you'll notice that to rise to the top of that heap in politics, you're generally going to find yourself in the last quarter of your life. Typically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's being pressed by his deputy, who thinks that he's become unpopular and he should step aside and let the deputy take over.
He wants to fill those shoes.
Yes. And he happened to have made a pledge that halfway through his second term, he would have in fact stepped down.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't do that. So there's that.
And people believed him?
Well,
Do they never?
So there's this, and of course he's got to deal with the opposition. He's got to run a country. He's got young idealistic cabinet ministers, people who are trying to make a name for themselves and rise as well. And so it's dealing with all of those dynamics, and that's really what it's all about. Can he stay in charge? Can he stay in power while sharing, breaking the fourth wall and sharing with the public the 10 rules of politics?
Right.
Yes.
And they're very interesting rules. And again, to Bahamians, are going to be very, very familiar. I think we can share one.
Yeah.
You got to have a gimmick one, right?
Yes, that's number 6.
Number 6.
Rule number 6 is find the gimmick. Yes.
Find the gimmick. And I think we perfected that in this country.
Yeah. And his gimmick is singing. He loves to sing. He loves to sing Lord Kitchener's Sugar Boom Boom. Whenever he gets in a bind, he pulls that one out.
Yeah. That is great stuff. Okay, so Nicolette and Jean, tell us about your characters. Nicolette, you go first.
So I am ex-wife number one.
Okay.
I really love him, you know.
And this is the wife of the Prime Minister.
And yes,
Mhm.
wife of the Prime Minister. I really
Ex-wife
love him,
number
but
one.
I couldn't deal with his power hungry and his other ills.
Mhm. Where did you draw inspiration from?
I don't know. I don't know. It was an honor to be a part of this cast. Brilliant casting, brilliant writing, and just so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, so much fun. So we don't want to say too much, but it was an honor to have been, and I'm in awe at what came out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And looking forward to the series after we got all these
We're
millions
gonna
of dollars.
talk about
for
that
our,
in a bit. But Jean, tell us about your character.
So my character is sort of the angel of good on Fergie's shoulder, trying to guide him. Well, one of many. There are a few people who come to him in many of his states, and we try to talk sense into him when we feel like he isn't doing quite right. So my character is the role of Patrice Lumumba, the former prime minister of the Congo, who was assassinated. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing I'm taking my plight, after they came for me and they unalived me. I trying to make sure that he don't, go that road. Because I've been down that road. I was fighting,
So you're trying to tell us that these people have a conscience?
Yes,
Yeah.
of
Okay.
course, everyone.
All right.
Somewhere
I
down
mean,
inside.
Right. Okay.
So Winston Ferguson definitely has a conscience. He does. There's an idealist in him somewhere that's been sort of taking some body blows and some head blows, but he's got a voice in him, and that this is what Patrice represents to him when he dreams about Patrice. Yeah. He dreams about Patrice Lumumba. He dreams about Muhammad Ali. And he dreams, unfortunately, about Francois Duvalier.
Oh, my goodness. Good old Papa Doc.
Wow. Yeah, that's again, cautionary tale. Don't be like him. No.
There you go.
Right. All right. So tell us about some of the other cast members before we get to the series.
Yeah, so we've got, like I said, Dion Johnson. We've got Matthew Wildgoose, who's, of course, hilarious. We've got Leslie Ellis Tynes. We've got Rosanna Deal. We've got Kentario McKenzie. We've got Valine Roll, Patrick DeVoe. The list goes on.
It's
Quite a
big
number of good people. And
Nicole Musgrove.
Yes, Nicole Musgrove. Yes, can't forget Nicole. Very talented, and they sort of populate this world of Greg Dean, of cabinet ministers, members of parliament, personal assistant. Family and extended family and friends, and of course, one of the very important dynamics is who does someone in this situation truly trust?
Yeah.
Who can they tell the truth to? Who can they open up to? And in the case of Winston Ferguson, it is in fact his rival, but also his childhood friend, who's also been prime minister and has been prime minister a number of times.
Who plays that person?
Yeah, it's a surprise.
But that character reminded me of somebody else. Very much so.
And again, these things are all coincidental.
Oh,
but,
yes.
Hannibal Jones is his name.
Hannibal,
and
of all names.
and they are competitors and friends, and they can compare notes and so on. And their dynamic is a curious one, both rivals and friends. Yeah.
So how will this work? You say you're developing a series.
No, yeah. Well, we did all the shooting. So the series has been shot as well.
Okay.
So we're bringing it in this format first, the movie format on Saturday at Atlantis Theater at 8:00, and then later this year we'll present the series, which will have even more scenes and more more about some of the characters that you don't see very much of in the film.
Excellent. So Saturday, this will be the only opportunity to see it, or are we going to have an extended run?
This is the only one before the election. So get it in, get your vitamins.
And wear your Pampers. First
So
time
you can
wear your
see-
Pampers.
Well, if you're in a certain position. Laverne, say that again.
I just want to let you know that I am available to fly in
Well, yeah. I mean, well, are you going to be showing it
right there
anywhere else?
Well, we're definitely looking at trying to do a screening in Freeport, yeah. But we've got this one up for now. As I said, this is the only one planned before the election. At the Atlantis Theater, 8 o'clock. Doors open 7:30, and folks can go on Facebook and get more information. They can also go to our website, 10rules.net/get tickets, and that's how you can reserve your ticket electronically. But people can come to the door. People are free to come on in and put down their cash. And we won't have a machine, so you have to pay cash if you come to the door, and you can watch the show. It's a nice, large, comfortable theater, so there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
Bring your card to get your snacks.
Yes, that's right. The inside the concessions are card only.
Yeah. Okay. Again, Saturday at Atlantis Theater.
Yes, 8 o'clock. Doors open 7:30. Get there. Those who have been paying online, your tickets will be available for you in an envelope, so that'll be fine. And come have a good time. Come laugh at
prepared to
as
laugh.
the late great.
All right, so we only have a couple minutes left. You had a pre-screening. I was a part of that. Were there any politicians a part of it? Anybody?
No politicians.
What would you say?
But when this play came out in 2017, a lot of them came out to see it.
I remember that too.
A lot of them came to see it.
What feedback did you get? What did they say? Because it is uncomfortably
They
close.
don't say anything, They just give you a look, a little nod, and then they go about their business.
Would you recommend any current cabinet ministers or people who are seeking office to come to showing on Saturday?
All.
This is 10 rules for them.
The master class.
Right.
Exactly.
Hey. Although I bet you they could teach you something. I just have a feeling. All right, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great movie.
Thank you so
Very
much.
entertaining. Very well done.
Thank you.
And Honorable Member is the name. Saturday at Atlantis Theater. At 8 o'clock, and get there before that, of course.
Yes.
Ian Straw, Nicolette Fountain, and Jean Joseph, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for giving us some time, Dwight. Really appreciate it.
All right, we're going to take a break for news headlines, and I'll be back with Financial Awareness Month in Morning Blend Business. Stay with us.
On the road one night, she stopped her when she left hand and punch her with the right. Patrol car passed the scene, you think they would have stopped? They passed right by, saying, "Be can't getting that way you going meet down the road. Who you waiting for? And up and down. What you just do? Sit around. What you waiting for? Who give you that job?"
With Lysol, you can disinfect all surfaces inside and outside your home. When used as directed, Lysol eliminates 99.9% of bacteria, fungus, and viruses. Maintain a healthy home by preventing sickness and keeping infections under control. Don't just clean your surfaces, disinfect them. Lysol does more for you and your family. That's our mission for health. Distributed by Thompson Trading Company.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Play with Island Games, we making dreams come true. Play with Island Games, we paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market, you getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy, and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first, guaranteed to pay. Island Games, we like them other jokers. We've been here from the start, from the bike to computer. Island Games, we can make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
If you think you can't afford to dress to impress or replace those utensils or maybe even upgrade your household appliances, then you don't know Y-Care's Fashion Center. With 3 locations to serve you, Y-Care's Fashion Center features the things you need or want, all at a price that you can afford. Open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Y-Care's Fashion Center also has the island's largest jean collection. Put the fun back in shopping and visit your favorite Y-Care's location today, where you can afford to look good.
Man, this weather done messed up the paint on my house, car, the boat. Now I gotta go all over the place looking for tints.
You never but Perfect Painting. That's your one-stop shop. They got paint for boat, house, car. You ain't know?
All in one place?
All in one place. Number 102 Wolf Road, opposite Peardale. Or call them 323-7821.
Oh.
Man, they got high and low-end paint and at good prices. And don't let them be running with special.
Really?
Paint supplies. Perfect Paint is the perfect choice. And you know how to say and go.
Yeah,
Perfect Paint.
We are more than...
It's Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, April 9th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And did you know that April is Financial Awareness Month? And each year we try to have some special financial advice segments on Morning Blend Business. And this year will be no different. We're partnering with Druber Solutions to talk about financial awareness. We are very happy to have with us and Nathaniel Butler. Good morning, everybody. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here, Dwight. Pleasure to be here, Laverne. And super, super happy to share with the large listening audience.
Yes, I hope that is the case.
Good morning.
Great to have you always,
good to
Sherelle.
hear from Druber Solutions.
All right, so there is a special theme today, Sherelle. Tell us about that and what we're going to be talking about.
So today we're going to keep it very simple. We want to talk with the everyday Bahamian who may consider themselves struggling a little bit with their finances. We're going to stick to a topic that simply says money doesn't change until our behavior changes.
Oh boy, that's going to be tough.
That in and of itself had me like pen in hand taking notes because this is truth. If you don't say any more, that's a mouthful right there.
That is a bitter pill for a lot of people to swallow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what type of behavior are we talking about before we get deeper into it? What behavior needs to change?
So let me start by saying the first part of what the challenge is. So we have Jana and we have Patricia. Jana and Patricia, they're on the same job, making the same money. End of month, Jana says, oh my goodness, I don't know where my money went. While Patricia, she's saving, she's less stressed. And if anything unexpected happens, most of the times she is okay. What is the difference between the two?
Is it because Patricia's living at home with her parents and Gina's not living, or is it something else?
It could be a number of things. So again, that's what we're talking about when it comes to behavior. What about your behavior is causing you not to be able to do the same, if not more than Patricia with the same income?
Mm-hmm.
Are you making
emotional decisions with your money? Are you pausing to think about, is this essential? Is it not?
Mhm.
Because I know from experience, one of the things that's really, really difficult to do is to accept delayed gratification.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's acceptance of delayed gratification is, hey, I'm making some real sacrifices right now, but I'm making these sacrifices to change my financial position for good. And so even though I'm making certain sacrifices now, this is because I have an end goal in mind. And that's going to help you to have behaviors that's going to realize those end goals.
Wow, wow. So is that you have to learn that, or is that just based? Because you talk to some people and they say, my dad was always like this, and my granddad was like this, and so they've got almost in their DNA a history of delaying gratification or a history of saving. So what is it? Is it some people just can't help it?
So to some extent, Dwight, you made some really, really good points. We've watched it everywhere in our families, the way we were grown up, what we were taught just by the old wives' tales, and the list goes on. A lot of things that we've been exposed to has conditioned our thinking and our habits and our behaviors. So by all means, all of that contributes to it.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I love about someone that I've done a program with, and a lot of us has heard about T. Harv Eker, is the fact that we can unlearn things.
Wow.
And so in the process of unlearning things, we need to dismiss a lot of those myths that we have about money. There are a lot, and this was not a part of my topic, but there are a lot of people who feel that there's some type of reward for struggle. Like you're being some amazing champion of of good to suffer and to sacrifice and to not realize your best self. And there's no truth to that.
Huh. I can imagine that quite a few people do believe that, though.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if that's the only thing that you know. That's the only thing that's been modeled to you.
And Laverne, I'm no different. I am no different. If anyone knows Sherelle's store, they know that I grew up through the Graveyard Corner, and that's a place in Grand Bahama. And we had what they would call Barretts, and we had at the time what they would call outhouse bathrooms, and the list goes on. But if persons have followed me on social media, they would have seen me talk about paying off this property and paying off the next property, and the list goes on. And in some of those instances, that was even through being unemployed. And it was through behaviors and it was through habits.
Wow, that's a great story there. Wow,
Yeah,
go ahead.
absolutely.
So tell us about it.
Also goes back to what you said that you did. That took a level of discipline that some of us aren't willing to employ. We love the story, we love the results, but the work to get us to that place, we aren't fully committed to doing that.
Exactly. So how do you get there? How can you help people to change their behavior, their mindset?
So this morning I'm thinking about, let's keep it simple. Let's don't overcomplicate it. What are some things that we can do? Little old me, what can I do? So for starters, I don't care what the amount is that you're making. Let's say, for example, $10 per week. And out of that $210 per week, you say, listen, I'm going to save $20 per week. I know from even talking to my nephew, who's now in his 30s, I'm talking to my nephew and he's like, Auntie, I can't save nothing. I don't care how hard I try. Something always comes up. And I say to my nephew, a lot of us allow our brain to exist rent-free. If we say to ourselves, I can't save $20 per week, I don't have it to save, something's always coming up. Your brain is like, well, there's nothing for me to do. She or he already told me I can't. So I'm going to sit right here. And when I'm called on to do a job, I'll go ahead and do it. But the person who says to themselves, listen, I'm saving this $20 no matter what and that's what you have to ask a question. Brain, what do I have to do to be able to save this $20? Something came up, it's $20. I have $20 in savings. What can I do? Our first instinct is if you need $20 and you have $20, go get the $20. I can tell you from this being a habitual habit for me that I would have that $20, Laverne, and that $20 will dangle and glisten and do everything else, and I will not touch that $20.
Even when gas prices go up
That's the
$1 or
discipline
more,
right there.
even when,
That's the discipline.
yeah,
That part.
even,
Laverne and Dwight, one of the things I did, and some people may know this story, crazy, right? I had one time ago, I needed gas money. And I'm like, oh boy, where am I going to get this? And I thought about a tire that I had taken off of a car. The tire was in perfect condition because I asked my brain what to do, and my brain went to the tire. If my brain reminded me that I had this tire, there's a reason for that. Our brain is super powerful. There's a reason for that. I thought about the tire and I'm like, this tire is in good condition. I took that tire to a tire store in South Beach, Nassau, and I sold that tire and I put gas in my car.
So,
I had
but
no
not a
idea.
tire from the car that needed gas, though.
Listen, I didn't know
Is
that
that
they
what
would
it
buy
is?
my tire.
Okay.
I didn't know they would buy it, but I know it was in good condition, so I tried.
Well, there you go. There you go.
And one of the things I wrote down in my notes as I was preparing is I would challenge anyone who says to me, I don't have what it takes to make the next dollar. Because I firmly believe no matter who you are, if there is breath in your body, you have what it takes to make the next dollar.
Wow. All right. So as I was saying, so gas prices have gone up. We know that fluctuations with things happening outside the country, outside of our control, causing inflation, causing scarcity of goods, and the cost of living today versus 10 years ago, much higher. So how do you adjust this mentality in the face of these obstacles?
So the thing is, changes are happening all around us. You made mention of some of those major changes, but have we stayed the same? Because if the changes are happening and we're staying the same, we're not growing to meet and surpass those changes. I agree 100%. You're not if the $210 was okay 5 years ago and nowhere near okay 5 years later. But was I saving during those 5 years? Was I investing during those 5 years? Did I find other means to diversify my income during those 5 years? Do I do something in my spare time that's going to give me an additional income? What have I done that increased life as the cost of living was increasing?
Okay. All right. What advice would you give? What types of other things would you say people should be thinking about or considering as the pressure keeps mounting?
So I'm a firm believer that we should definitely customize our approach to diversifying our income. What I am great at, what I can do and do well, is kind of different for different people. And like, say, for example, there's always the real estate investment, but there is also that person who's not in a position to invest in real estate at this time. So what does that person do? So by all means, that person would do what they can do. I know a young man, he has a full-time job. He was struggling with paying his rent. And I said to him, listen, this is not going to work. You're going to have to diversify your income, etc. And so I convinced him to go full-time into, well, not full-time, part-time into cleaning cars. So he had a mobile car cleaning business. Smart guy, full-time job, started cleaning cars in between time. And my thing to him was, and I did property management in between and still do. I said to him, now from that side income, you put aside something every week out of that so that you're always 1 month ahead on your rent. And that way you're not surviving with paying the rent. You've passed surviving because you will always have 1 month of rent ahead. And he was washing cars in his spare time.
Wow.
All of us have something that we can do.
All right. So when you add people on our text line, very interesting. They're talking about the examples you gave, Gina and Patricia. But when you add the complications like social life and children. I don't want to say children are a complication, but all these factors, and you're still dealing with relatively the same income. That just makes it seem like it's insurmountable. What else, other than diversifying your income, can you do to remain afloat?
So there are some changes in our habits alone that can make a difference. So say, for example, a lot of us, we don't know our numbers. We say that it's almost impossible, but can I ask you, what is your monthly income? And I get an exact figure. Monthly income, what is your monthly expenses? And I get a figure down to the T, including what you probably spend on social life and recreation, and the list goes on. Wow. Do we really know our numbers?
Wow.
And when we do the number crunches, there is, in most instances, places where we can make some habitual changes. I know of the people, listen, when you do the math, don't come for me, guys. When you do the math on how much goes towards consuming a little alcohol, just a little. When you do the math, it could be a lot. What about, that's a weekend thing on a Saturday thing as opposed to 4 nights or 5 nights out of the week. There's small changes that we can do. Some of us who make a little more, believe it or not, there's tons of money that was going off of my account through subscriptions that I didn't even realize existed.
Yep.
Have we done the math? Are we noticing those subscriptions? At one point, Dwight, I had a subscription for a wine club. So, hey, you're not alone, guys. A wine club for 6 months and wasn't using the subscription. And when I called them, they said, well, there's nothing we can do. We can send you the 6 bottles of wine that was released for the last 6 months.
Oh, man. Did you cancel it, though? Or are you still doing it?
Oh, no, I can't. What do I need a wine subscription for? I was trying something out. I was living in the Midwest at the time, and it was just something fun to do. But again, it was something that was going unnoticed because I wasn't counting the costs. I wasn't paying close attention to what was going out and what was coming in and what I could have done differently. And I think no matter who we are, there's a lot of that going on. I see Nathaniel joined us, so I'm going to definitely let him add some points. But one of the things, if I'm honestly being honest, say, for example, I have a mother, very, very close friend of mine. She has kids. One of the youngest daughters, I had her selling lip gloss. And so she was making her own lunch money. And so a lot of the times it's burdens on the parents, by all means, because it's a lot for them to, feed all the kids, clothe them, the list goes on. But your kids has talents too that they can monetize. Absolutely. And that's not child labor, sending them to work or anything. But my godchild thoroughly enjoyed selling her lip gloss.
And they'll teach them lessons that they will need in adulthood.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's one of the points on my notes as well. The habits. It's easier from younger, but by all means, point that Patricia is in her 40s. And so it's not like it's too late at any point, but the earlier you start, and as parents, if we instill this in our children, it will do wonders for them. And I'll give this example and let someone else chime in. My daughter, I had her saving religiously. I think we may have started that account. She was about 7, 8, and for years, we were saving. And when she did not go to the credit union at the time, which had the highest interest rate at the time, for those who didn't know, at that time, it had the highest interest rate. I had her saving there for a college fund. And when she didn't go on a weekly basis, she would cry. And I'd be like, what's wrong? And she'd be crying. And she's like, Mommy, I didn't go and put up money. I didn't go. And she thought she was in trouble every time she didn't go and put up money. So I'm excited because that's where I want her. I want her to make it happen. And it was. And we went to the credit union one day. She might have been an adolescent at the time. And she started by telling the clerk, I'm so sorry I didn't come to bring money last week to save. And the lady's like, oh, that's okay. You don't have to always come. You don't. And I'm like, what did you do? That took me a long time to condition her to feel like she has to.
Right.
And believe it or not, she made some adjustments after she realized she doesn't have to. But by the time she got a certain age, she had enough to invest in a property.
That's excellent.
She had the down payment for a property.
We need you in the schools, Sherelle. We need you in the schools teaching our kids.
Roba Solutions is going to be in the schools for a national literacy program very, very soon.
Okay.
So definitely look out for that.
All right, excellent. Nathaniel Butler, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, my fam out of Freeport. You see, I brought someone from Freeport on the show.
Hey, they're
Yes,
taking
and
over.
I love the name, Nathaniel. I love that, and it's always good to hear your voice.
All right.
Likewise.
So we're learning a lot of
Likewise.
great things from Sherelle this morning, Nathaniel. Anything else you want to add before we open up the phone lines? We've got people texting in as well.
No, listen, Sherelle is great. She is, and just her mindset around financial literacy, just paradigm shifts in financial psychology. I think the Bahamas is robbed because we have not heard a lot of her viewpoints and how we can, at different stages in life, can grow. But the only thing would like to add, when we talk about behavioral change, one of the biggest challenges persons look at is where they are. I'm divorced. I have so many kids. I am midlife, or I am retired, or about to retire, or I just started. And we tend to look at the lack of opportunity that is around us. What I love to the points that Sherelle raises is the fact that we have to look at what is innate to us, what value skill set that we already have, or knack we already have, and may need to upskill to develop it a little bit more and then capitalize on the opportunities around us. Most people push entrepreneurship, and that's one form. I would take a step further and say I would push entrepreneurship, where you can almost in organizations test out new concepts, but capitalizing on opportunities that may exist within the organization that management or ownership may not be necessarily aware, because they could put the resources behind you to capitalize on a niche opportunity. And the reason why we don't see too much of that is because we're in this country, we're not really mostly data driven. And even putting that aside, I think it's just a matter of just showing persons how they can add value to others that will increase their income. We love to focus on cutting the cost side of it, or we love to talk about how we should invest. But I think the most basic approach is how can you increase your value, that you can earn more, that you can save more, so that you can invest more.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent. Wow. All right, so before we get to these calls, and you can call in as well, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Sherelle Store, you said it, that you've got to change your mindset. You have to sacrifice, and the rewards, some people think that will come later. But we know that this mentality, YOLO, you only live once, is sweeping the world, it seems, and everybody's looking for the life to post on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, to live it to the fullest, and that often isn't cheap. To folks who think that it is better to have these memories, even if you're struggling financially, than to live this life of being deprived, what do you say to those people?
So I'm thinking, by all means, we all need a motivator. And if motivation, by all means, that motivation can drive you. I know a lot of people who are driven by that motivation, and they do a lot of things. They have their online stores, they promote their products, maybe they're selling here, they're selling lashes, and so many of these persons are doing very, very well. Now, of course, there's the other side to that, people who are living above their means and they're struggling to do it, and they're showing up in front of the camera and behind the camera, they're very depressed. And we've seen the stories of what can happen when a lot of those persons are genuinely depressed and they're not able to maintain that lifestyle.
Wow. Yeah.
This imbalance is always going to be among us, by all means. There's always going to be a difference of opinion. And so there will always be persons who are going to be like, yeah, like you said, you only live once, live it to the fullest, and the list goes on. I'm 100% in full support. I think I told Nathaniel maybe just yesterday in one of our meetings, Nathaniel, this has to be towards our huge retirement and living our best life and getting royalties, and the list goes on, because by all means, I believe that life was designed for us to do just that. And so the sacrifice is not for forever. And if we value our children and the people we pour into, we should get them into the habit of, listen, the lifestyle that you're envisioning or you're desiring doesn't have to be a show. It doesn't have to be for camera. What if this really was your life? In order for that to happen, it has to be some of these intentional decisions that we're talking about. You have to pay yourself first and be very intentional about saving. You have to think twice about the unnecessary purchases. I often tell people about the story where I wanted to pay off my first mortgage in a fraction of the time. Doing that saved me $200,000 in interest. $200,000 in interest I saved. I think I bought that first property at 23 years of age. Right, and have to call me or inbox me offline or something,
right,
because I did that with no money down, right? And even in the midst of losing my job, etc., I was able to do that. But it was the mindset. It was the fact that I wanted this. I got up and I went out and I looked for it, and I spoke with contractors and I did the work. So a lot of us, we count ourselves out, like Nathaniel had said earlier, but we've not counted the cost. We have no idea of what it's going to cost for the things that we want to do. Say, for example, you want to purchase a car. I tell people at 17, 18, I wanted my first car to be red. A gentleman that I knew was selling a car, I think for $1,800. I said to him, listen, I have $800. I need this little car. And he sold me this purple Dodge Neon. And I took the purple Dodge Neon straight to the body shop and I sprayed it red. And I celebrated because in my mind, I purchased my first car. And as I said, it was going to be red. So, and so you make modifications to the goal, but it's attainable. And what is the mindset? What are we doing towards it? And we have to start somewhere. We have to start now. Like Nathaniel said, it is very easy to go in our own mind and try to think of perfect scenarios and perfect positioning. And so the YOLO life is very, very possible. But what if the YOLO life was actually real?
Sherelle,
So let's do
I
certain
have
things.
so many questions about all those things you just said. Wait, how much did you get the car for? Because you said you only had $800.
Oh, I got it for $800.
Yeah, and did you spray it red yourself, or did you pay for that?
No.
Because how
I
are
took
you?
it to the body shop and he was $400.
Wow. Okay. So you're good. You might need to come and manage my finances for me. We're talking with Sherelle Storr and Nathaniel Butler with Druber Solutions. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We're talking about money management and money behavior changes during this April Financial Awareness Month. Caller, what say you? Good morning. Are you there? I know you were holding for a little bit. Call us back, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Something key there, we know a lot of people who are good with money are very good, like seemingly you are, Sherelle, with negotiating. And let's talk about that, how much that can help you. And can you get better at that?
So one of my favorite topics, I talked about it in Chicago a couple of years ago, was negotiate like a child.
Wow.
Very funny, very interesting. But one of the things I believe sometimes is that negotiation is what it is. And children are the best negotiators. They're not going to give up most of the time, right? And a lot of the times you can find a sweet medium. They may want a sweet treat and you may want them to have dinner. And so the sweet treat is possible, but honey, it's after dinner. There we have it. We have a sweet medium. In their mind, I want this treat now. And a lot of the times we know if they have a good meal, that urge for a sweet treat may actually go away and we may not have to give them this sweet treat. So I truly believe we do have to negotiate. We have to be relentless with our negotiation. And before we go into the negotiation, we have to know what it is that we want to come out with. And I truly believe in win-win. I don't believe in I'm going to win, which means you're going to lose. That's going to work for me. So even as I'm going through various construction projects, I never go to the table with a service provider without knowing what I think this should cost based on my research and what I'm willing to pay. And there's that high point of where I'm willing to pay. And there's that low point that I love that I'm willing to pay. And so anything between those two is okay with me. And so a lot of the times, even yesterday, I told one young man, I said, listen, thank you so much for that cost that you told me you're going to charge for this service. I think it's too low. And so go ahead and do the job, and I'll be sure to pay you what I think it's worth.
Oh, wow.
Right? It was too low. Exciting. I loved it. But he needed to be taught that there's a value for what you do. And someone like me who's ethical and believe in investing in people, I'm not going to take advantage
Wow.
of him.
That's excellent.
And so it goes in both ways. And that goes back to what I had said, that it's going to be a win-win if you have the right mindset. And so by all means, negotiate like a child, be relentless, already know what is a win for you. What is your high? What is your low? And so anything in between is the sweet spot. And that's what you say yes to. And by all means, know when to walk away. Know when to say, hey, this is not for me. Sometimes people will ask you to give your very last breath for something. And a lot of the times it's not worth it. And a lot of the times, because I did it with an investment property, I wanted it. I made the down payment. The bank was holding on and the bank was back and forth and they were on me and I was excited about this. And it turns out the property didn't have any access. And as much as I wanted it, because I had already counted what I can make from this investment, I walked away because I realized that what it's going to cost for me to get this property surveyed and severed and access point and the list goes on is not going to be worth this sweet investment at the end of the day. No, do your research. Don't be hasty, because I would have already purchased if I was hasty. Pause before you make essential purchases. Pause before you make non-essential purchases. Because a lot of the times when you pause, give it 24, 48 hours, you will find that you change your mind. We know about that buyer's remorse. All of us would have had condos in Vegas if we were hasty, and then we would have struggled and didn't make anything from it. And so pausing a lot of the times before we make a decision is the way to go.
Very good advice there. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
It was a very, very long week, but I was trying to call into you from you were giving the early morning traffic report because you made a mistake in the traffic report. You said Milo Butler on the side of Harold Pond. That is Wilson Pond. Harold Pond is in Pride Estate, bordered by Pride Estate number 1 on the north, Pride Estate number 2 on the east, and Proprietary Road on the south.
Okay.
Which is on the side of Milo Butler Highway. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Sparky. Appreciate that. Okay. So any other tips that you can give to folks who are hearing you but just can't get over some of their habits and want to do it? The mind is they're willing to try, but it's just so hard to make the adjustments. What do you say, Sherelle and Nathaniel?
So I would say, by all means, it's not, for someone like me, it may seem easy. I've been doing it for so long, but in talking with other people, I realize it's not as easy as you think, by all means. So I truly believe that we have to connect with the right people. Druba Solutions, they have financial coaches, by all means. That's an avenue. Maybe you know someone who has great financial habits. I said to someone, people ask me to things of that sort, but very few people ask me, what can I do to make money? What can I do to achieve something that you've achieved? We don't ask the right questions. So let's start by asking the right questions. Let's start by connecting ourselves with the right people. Let's start by doing certain research. If you really want it, maybe it's a car, do the research. What is available? What is it going to cost? I have a few persons right now, they're meeting with banks because they're interested in purchasing homes. And so they're having the pre-qualification conversations, because I said to them, that is free education. The bank is going to tell you what you need. In a lot of instances, they're going to tell you what you don't have. And so when you go from that bank, you have a list of what you need to work on. And so you have your homework for the next 6 months. If you want it, you're going to do the homework for the next 6 months. If you don't want it, you're going to sit on it, and then you're going to be right where you are 6 months later. And so those are some basic things that we can do right now. Start small, get some financial coaching, connect with the right people, do your basic research. We have time. If we can match the TikTokers, we have more time than we think. Spend that time. And again, maybe it's a TikToker who is talking about investment and money habits, and the list goes on. If you're watching it and you're implementing some of the strategies because they've proven that they work and they have a track record and they're credible and their life shows what they're preaching about, by all means, that's an avenue for you to learn. And so the bottom line is, don't listen to the show. Don't listen to us talk and continue to do the same old things. If you do one thing different, that's a behavior change. And that behavior change is going to change your money.
Wow. Nathaniel?
No, I totally agree. Totally agree with my colleague. Dwight, over the years, I've discovered there's three categories of individuals in the Bahamas who want more, right? And so the first group, you spark their curiosity, and they apply themselves in the manner what Sherelle was talking about, and then so it kind of snowballs it as long as you have persistency and consistency. And as she mentioned, as you get the right advice, it really could mushroom into really living the desired lifestyle. And then there's that next group who, for the most part, are so deflated because of their situation and what they're focused on and what they're dealing with. And they feel like there's no hope. There's no hope to get out of their situation. And I'll be honest with you, working with persons who are just deflated, whatever you focus on, whatever you measure, whatever you give that level of attention will magnify in your life. I'm not saying that these things you could just wish them away. What I am saying is it's just a change in mindset. Let's focus on what you can change, and then eventually you'll find that over a period of time, a lot of the things that you felt hopeless about can change in the direction that you want it to be. People hear it and do nothing about it.
Yeah.
They just feel like it's not for them,
Wow. So time's going. We got a couple text messages, and we may squeeze in a couple calls. This person says here, what advice, you did some already, but what advice would you give to parents who want to encourage their teenagers and young adults how to save and the importance of it? I know you started with your daughter when she was very young, Sherelle, but when they're a little bit older, what can you do if you haven't been having those types of conversations with them as yet?
So even our children are just like us. They're different things work for them. I know at one point I had must be the entire family doing the, I think it was 30 days or 90 days to $10,000. I do have the paperwork if someone wants it. And it was as simple as $1 today, $2 tomorrow, $4 the next day. And it was weekly. And you kind of compound it over a certain period of time until you get to the $10,000. And so it depends on if they have lunch money. Like my daughter and my godchildren, they like to save, and they do it a lot of the times from their lunch money. And how do they supplement that? They eat at home, they take something to eat. They do a lot of things so that they can save the lunch money. But if they're intentional about it because they want a bicycle or they want, because obviously it's going to be things that the children want. And if they save towards it, it's still a good habit that's going to serve them well in the future. And so I think understanding where your children are at, what works for them, definitely by all means encouraging them to save. One of the things I did, and I know everyone can't do it, is I match a lot of their savings. Even my mother, who wanted to do an ASU, I said, Mommy, if you miss the ASU, it's a problem. Give me the money you want to save every week. And if you do, double what you saved. But you're not going to stress me out by wanting to pay an ASU, and then when you can't pay it, the people asking me about your ASU, right? So I'm doing this every day. I'm working with people every day who is trying to make some changes and make some habits different. And say, for example, like we started talking about the kids. Can they save from their lunch money? Can they do something additional for them to make money? Like, again, the same goddaughter, I don't know, she's eager, and so Gaudi invests in her. She's getting ready to start doing, she's going to be balancing the paperwork for a little store in the community. And so the owner is very busy. And so she's going to take him and she's going to do the end of day report in her free time. And so she's going to make some decent money while she's in school doing end of day report for a little store in the community.
Excellent.
There's a lot of things that the kids can do as well. And you can teach them how to save. And if you save, here's the portion that you can spend. Teach them how to break that out so that it works for them.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can squeeze in this call very quickly. Caller, we're running out of time. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? Hi, good morning. Okay, we lost them. All right, so final minute. Remind folks how we can learn more and find out more about Druber Solutions.
Take it away, Nathaniel.
Yeah. So, listen, we are so excited for you guys to engage with us. So our office is on Mackey Street in the Mackey Street Plaza opposite Bahari. Druber Solutions is housed there. You could go right inside, speak to any of the reps, and they will point you to the right advisor from that standpoint. As Sherelle would have mentioned, in the coming weeks and months, we're rolling out programs across every age group possible, helping them to move from where they are to where they're in investment and savings, et cetera, et cetera. Our email address is info, I-N-F-O, at drubersolutions.com, and Druber is spelled D-R-E-W-B-E-R, solutions with an S.com. And our telephone number, it's 427-8025. That's 427-8025.
Okay.
Or our next line is 394-1955. That's 394-1955.
Great stuff. Always great conversations with you all. Sherelle Storr and Nathaniel Butler with Druber Solutions. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and happy Financial Awareness Month to you.
Thanks, Laverne.
Dwight and Laverne.
All right, great stuff.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Yes, so much to learn.
And Laverne, we will free you so you can enjoy the rest of your anniversary today. Happy anniversary to you and Mark again.
Thank you so much.
Have a blast. And again, we're celebrating our 14th anniversary of Guardian Radio and Morning Blend tomorrow, so tune in for that. And everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green.
Aunt Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
CFAL is a proud sponsor of Team Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
Gold, silver, bronze, and Little Caesars, everyone wins. Introducing the new hot and ready 3-in-1 pizza, 3 flavors in one, pepperoni, cheese, and Italian sausage and rice, just $11, VAT included. Whether you're celebrating on the track, in the stands, or on the couch, the 3-in-1 makes you the champion. Available now at Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles. Little Caesars, with the 3-in-1, everyone wins.
Pizza. This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology. There's now year-round container farming. You have hydroponics. You have aquaponics. You have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands. Because in Bamsi, we are not just cultivating produce, we're cultivating producers.
Paid for by the PLP.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
We're ready for the road. This Saturday, April 11th, bring your flags, bring your pom-poms, join the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally. F&M Headquarters Freeport at 7:30 p.m. Time to save our country. Time to belt this fat PLP cat. We have the plan to restore the Magic City. We're ready to work for you. This is the moment. Show up, stand firm. Vote F&M. That's the motorcade to the Fire Forward Rally.